Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to do another foundation review and wear test. Today's foundation is going to be the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I also have the concealer, Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer in the collection to try out with it. So I'm going to apply it with you guys and then I will do some check-ins throughout the day to let you know my thoughts, how it's wearing, and all that good stuff. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe down below if you're new here. I do all things beauty. So let's get into it. So if you're new here to my channel, I used to have really oily skin in the past, but ever since I went to the dermatologist to help with my acne, my skin is so dry now with the products that I've been using. I already have my face prepped with my skincare, my eye cream, and a pore filling primer. That's what I always use. Also, my skin is going through some breakouts right now, so this is going to be a good test for this foundation. You can find this at Target and Ulta. I would say if you're really going to buy this, go to Ulta because they have a lot more selection of the colors. First, when I bought this, I got the shade Beige, but it has such a yellow undertone that I can't really wear this. So I purchased a new shade in Natural, which works a lot better. I will have to say that NYX products can have a really strong yellow undertone. So don't be like me and go off the names. Go off the color in the bottle. I don't know what I was thinking. For the concealer, it has a very yellow underbase too. True beige, but this is so yellow. I went off the names instead of just looking at the color. So I am going to use the shade Natural, and I only had the one concealer in True Beige, so that's what we're going to do. I can swatch these to show you the color difference in the yellow undertone. So I bought mine at Ulta. Let me just read. It has 4.1 stars, 3,660 reviews. So that's pretty decent. It sells for $15. You get one fluid ounce. They have 37 shades, so that's a pretty good shade selection. Vegan, cruelty-free, so cruelty-free is huge for me. I right now only am buying cruelty-free brands. So it says on the Ulta website, lightweight, waterproof, and transfer proof. Full coverage with a matte finish. 24-hour wear. Ultra matte. Shine control. Suitable for normal, oily, combo, sensitive skin. Infused with vitamin E. Since this is a full matte foundation, one side of my face I am going to use a glowy product just to help. The other side I will not, so you can see how it truly wears for dry skin. If you have dry skin and you want matte foundations, check out getting like the e.l.f. Halo Liquid Glow is great under like matte foundations to kind of bring it back to life, especially if you have dry skin. I've been loving this under foundations or any glowy skin products, you know, or really prep your skin with a lot of hydration before you apply this. One side of my face I am going to use a sponge, damp beauty sponge, and the other side of my face I am going to use a brush. All right, so it does come with a pump, which is really nice. Show you the shade difference. So Natural is the one I am going to use today. It is more cool toned, lighter, and then this is the beige one. What's the name? Just Beige. And you can see how yellow it is. It does not work for my skin. That's why I repurchased another color. And then let me swatch the True Beige concealer. Hopefully I can use this and it isn't too too yellowy. So there's the concealer. Again, it has a strong yellow undertone, which I don't mind a yellow undertone, but when it's so strong, sometimes it just looks unnatural on me since I feel like I'm more neutral, but when I'm a little self-tan. I feel like my skin tone is a little more neutral. Go in, I'm gonna do one side with the sponge. All right, there's one pump. So it is running a little bit, but not anything super liquidy crazy. Going in with a damp beauty sponge. This color is much better for me. So this is the side I did not put any glowy product on. I have used this before. I actually really like it, at least from what I remember, even with my dry skin. So hopefully it does that again today. All right, so there is one pump used on the side of my face with a sponge. It looks matte. It has good coverage. It's a good color. All right, the other side, I'm gonna use a brush, foundation brush. Again, I'm gonna do one pump, see how this goes. This side of my face, I do have that glowy product on. All right, I had to use a little bit more of the brush just for my forehead. Okay, so there's one layer with the brush. I think you get a little more coverage with the brush, obviously. Did use a little more product with the brush, but not like a significant amount. So the glow is still coming through from that e.l.f. Liquid Halo Glow, but the side that I used the sponge and no Liquid Halo Glow still has like a nice little sheen to it. I'm sure the powder will mattify that, but it's good coverage. It's pretty smoothing. I like full coverage, that's just me. This color is a lot better than the yellow one. Okay, and then let me pull up the concealer. So this is also the 24-hour Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Matte Concealer. 24 options, retails for $9.50 on the Ulta website. So it says it's vegan, full coverage, lightweight, long wearing, multitasking concealer that won't transfer. 24-hour wear. So I also always apply my concealer with a sponge. That's just how I am. I feel like whenever I use a brush, it just doesn't apply as well and kind of smears. So hopefully this isn't too yellow. Oh my god. That's yellow. Very yellow. So I think I'm just going to use this for my dark circles and then the rest of my face. Like, look how yellow that is. Maybe it's not coming off as yellow on camera, but that shit's yellow. So if you have a strong yellow undertone, go for the NYX because they have some yellow undertones. So I'm just going to blend it out to show you. So it blends out pretty nice, honestly. Maybe I should just purchase this in another color because I feel like I like how it blends out and I like the coverage. True Beige? True Beige doesn't have yellow in it. But I'm also the idiot to go off the name of the packaging instead of the color in the bottle. Conceals very good, looks really nice, feels very comfortable. So I am unfortunately gonna have to layer a concealer on top of this to brighten and not be so yellow. So I'm just gonna go in with a brightening concealer that hopefully won't like kind of mask it so much so we can see how it wears under the eyes through the day. So I really can't wear that on under my eyes through the day. It's just gonna drive me nuts. I apologize. I think the concealer has really good coverage. It blends out nice, feels comfortable. I wasn't drying or caking and wasn't settling in my fine lines. So there we can still see the yellow undertone, so we can still see the concealer and see how it wears through the day. So it's not a total loss. Alright, so here's the final coverage before I apply the rest of my makeup. Looks like it's starting to dry down more matte as time goes on. I like the coverage, it's full coverage, it's pretty smoothing, so I'm going to finish my makeup and then I'll be back to give you some more updates. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry, that took way too long. I ended up doing like eye makeup and it took forever to get a lash on, but we're here. So it is about almost 2 o'clock. This foundation probably was on before 1:30. I was just a hot mess. So current thoughts, it looks really smooth, full coverage. Doesn't look super matte. Like it's matte, but I feel like it has some life to it, which is a nice in between. I feel like the shade is a good color for me. Maybe a little light since I'm like self-tan, but a really good natural color for me. Makeup applied really well on it. I think it really did a good job concealing. There is some settling in my forehead lines, which happens a lot, but a little bit of settling. Honestly, that's really hard for me to avoid. It looks really pretty. The pores look minimized. Good coverage. So the coverage looks really good. Looks really smooth. Again, it is about 2 o'clock. I'm going to do a few check-ins throughout the day, see how it wears. Also, another thing, I always set all my foundation and makeup with a setting spray every single time, no matter what. So I did set everything with a setting spray. We'll see how the day goes on. It's pretty comfortable. I mean, I do feel like I'm wearing makeup just because I have lashes and a lip on, but my skin, it doesn't feel undetectable. Like I can feel I'm wearing a foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy. Doesn't feel dry. Like this worked pretty good for my dry skin. We'll see how it wears, but so far so good. So I'll be back in a little bit. Hey guys, I am back for a check-in. It is now 5:08, so it's been about 3 hours? 3 hours, I think. So let's take a look. It's still looking pretty good. The coverage is pretty staying. The only really bad area is around my nose. But I think that's because I was blowing my nose like crazy and that area always gets really crusty and weird for me, as you can see. This side's actually not that bad, but it is separating. But I think that's from when I was blowing my nose and rubbing my nose. There is a little bit of creasing on my forehead, but that typically happens. I actually do have some glow coming through right here, which is interesting for my dry skin. A little moisture here. My eyes water a lot, especially when it's like cold and windy out, so that's what that like little tear line's from. But on this side, it still looks pretty good. Nothing's budged. I do have some moisture coming through. I'm a lot more on the side I put the glowy e.l.f. liquid halo on compared to this side. So I still think it looks really good. Actually, with this foundation, like moisture's coming through on my skin, so I think I wouldn't need to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow because it's actually has some like natural glow coming through. That's my highlighter, but even on my cheek here and up here, I don't put highlighter up there. I didn't use a shimmery bronzer. It has some glow coming through, so it feels, wow, my lips look crazy. I'm sorry about that. It feels pretty good on the skin. Doesn't feel super dry. Doesn't feel heavy. It's looking pretty good. I'll probably do one more check-in and let you know how it's going. I'm actually really impressed. The concealer's holding up pretty good. Nothing creasing that crazily. Crazily? Is that a word? Nothing's creasing really a lot under my eyes. That's just like my natural wrinkles, so there's always going to be a line, but nothing's breaking up or looking weird. It still has really good coverage, so probably do one more check-in and I'll see you guys in a few. Hey guys, I'm back with my final check-in. It is about 8:30. Sorry I'm not wearing it longer tonight. It's just been a long day and I'm just like ready to take my makeup off. I really don't want it on any longer. But I wanted to do my final check-in, and to be honest, it's still looking really good, really flawless, smooth. My bronzer, blush still on really well. The only thing I feel like with this foundation, a little crusty around the nose, but it's still going pretty good. The creasing hasn't really exaggerated much than what it was at. The nose looks pretty bad, but again, I did blow my nose pretty rough there during the day. But it still looks really good, smooth. The under eyes still look really good too, no separation. It still looks the same as it was, so that's pretty good. There is actually a lot of glow coming through, which I'm pretty surprised with my dry skin. Usually with foundations, it will get drier through the day, but this one actually glows coming through both sides. Like this had the glowy stuff. So a little more on this side, but still on this side too, a natural glow. So I think that's really good for dry skin. As long as you prep it well, you can still wear this matte full coverage foundation. Now, if you have oily skin, I think this will get a little oily throughout the day because I have dry skin and I can feel some of my oil coming through. Maybe it's just how it's reacting with my skin, but if you have oily skin, I would say it might work for you, but just maybe try to really prep your skin with some primers and powders to kind of prevent that oiliness getting worse through the day. But yet again, I don't have oily skin right now, so I can't really give you exactly what it's gonna do. But overall, I think it's a great foundation. It's very smoothing. It's lasting very well. It's not getting drier as the day goes on for someone who has dry skin. And I still think it looks really good. That is it for this check-in, guys. So I think if you had to pick between the concealer and the foundation, honestly, I think it's a great duo. I would just get both. I think I might pick up the concealer just in a different shade that's not so yellow and see how it goes like all over my face. But I think I would get both. If you had to pick between the two, maybe the foundation. I just didn't have a really good wear test with the concealer just because it was not the right color. But overall, I'm pretty happy with both products. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe down below if you want to see more foundation reviews and beauty videos by me. And thank you guys so much for watching.